It's a call to all my buyers. I have sight beyond sight. No, not really. I just have market statistics and something that needs to be shared with you because something big's about to happen, as always. So stick with me. I'm about to show you what's up. Hey everybody, Mike Evans with Blue Root Properties, broker with eXp Realty. Thank you for joining me again on another episode of what we like to talk about, try to help you be a little more informed on buying and selling a home, especially out here in the Washington State market. Today we're going to talk about inventory. I'm just kidding. We're not talking about inventory because I talk about inventory all the time. I'll probably touch on it as we go on, but I'm going to talk about something equally as important that I like to look at. That is the sale price versus list price ratio. If the list price is the same as the sales price and it's 100%, pretty easy, though there are some caveats to that. List price is not necessarily reflective of what the home was originally put on the market for. So for example, if the seller put their home on the market for $525,000, but didn't get any takers, and then maybe did a price reduction to $510,000, then they got a taker. Now the list price on the sale price versus list price ratio is technically 510. Now, the sale price isn't necessarily 510 either, because while the buyer may have come in and given an offer to that seller of $510,000, that doesn't mean it's going to sell, close in its traditional 30 to 45 days at 510. Oftentimes, when you get into an inspection, you negotiate a reduction in price or concessions or any such things that might bring the sale price down. So in the cases when we see sale price and list price ratio being above 100%, that means the sale price of when it closed was actually above the list price at the time the home went under contract. That means buyers aren't getting the deals. They're not getting under list price. If it's below 100%, that means buyers are starting to get deals. Buyers are getting a little less. Even 98%, that's 2% less. On a $500,000 home, on average, that's $10,000 less that the buyers are getting versus what the sellers are getting. So for you wanting to get a deal, you want to be in a market when the sale price versus list price ratio was below 100%, which is what we had going from August of 2022 to basically the beginning of this year. January of 2023, we saw a sale price versus list price ratio go down to 98.6%. We hadn't seen anything below 98.6% since February 2015, where we were at 98.4. 8 years ago was the last time our market, Thurston, Pierce, Kitsap, Mason County, actually saw a sale price versus list price ratio below 98.6. So today, our sale versus list price ratio is 99.9%, essentially 100%. And I'm telling you, based upon everything else that I'm seeing here that we'll get into in a moment, April is going to be above 100% ratio of sale versus list price. Well, how the heck can I say that I know next month's list versus sale price ratio is going to be higher than 100%? Well, I look at the numbers that have been going on basically this month, and actually the last 7 days, and I've been watching it very closely because I had a seller who was trying to time more appropriately the market. They were wanting to come to the market in January. I told them it's not a good idea. We watched the numbers of how many new listings were coming on the market versus how many pending listings were out there, as well as how many homes were going back to the market or prices being reduced. And I can see that. I can help you understand this. And when you look at the past 7 days, we have 3 times as many homes going under contract pending than we do new listings. And look how how small of a number of back on market we're seeing, how small of a number we're seeing price reduced and listings going canceled or expired. Very, very small. By comparison to what was going on in January, that we were seeing more listings coming to market, less pendings. We're seeing a tremendous amount of back on market and prices being reduced as a reaction to the shock of the increase in interest rates. And then if we look at just the past 3 days of activity, we are actually at we are over 4 times as many homes going under contract than we are new listings coming to market. And the back to market, the price being reduced, the expires and the cancels, again, are all extremely low. Again, suggesting buyers are out there in force. They're likely competing against each other with a small amount of inventory out there. Therefore, I fully expect to see our list price versus sale price ratio being higher than 100% come this time in April. So for my buyers out there, it's not all gloom and doom. I don't want you to think that, oh, you're never going to be able to buy a house. There is an opportunity and a window right now if you are ready to go, if you can afford the interest rate today with the mortgage payment that comes with it. This is a good time to come in. The reason why I say that is the median home price today is just under $510,000. And you may not think that that's a great deal, but put it in perspective. This time last year, we were sitting at a median home price of $520,000. So you are already buying the home a year later where there should have been appreciation, and you're getting it for $10,000, potentially, on average $10,000 less. Even further perspective, at the height of everything, the highest our median home price got was June of 2022, and that was at $555,000. So you are now buying the home even further south of that high point. So I actually had a few individuals telling me that they're going to wait to buy until conditions improve. I don't know what conditions can be any better than what they are today. You are sitting at a median home price that is $10,000 below what it was last year. You are still able to potentially get something from the seller as a result of your inspection, contingencies, still possibly able to get your home below list price at the moment. So the only thing that I can think would be an improvement on those conditions that these individuals are waiting for is the interest rate. And that's a problem. And if you've seen all my other videos, you know what's going to happen when the interest rates drop. We are still sitting at 6.5% interest rate. And you saw the activity that we have. 3 to 4 times as many buyers are still out there than there are sellers. Do you know why? Because the sellers are still sitting with under 4% interest rates, and they're not in any hurry to put their house on the market, because guess what they're waiting for? They're waiting for the rates to drop too. So we're not going to see an influx of homes coming on the market anytime soon. We are going to be choosing from the small number that is now dwindling, and it will continue to get worse, and the median home price is going to continue to go up along with the sale and list price ratio is going to increase. So if you are convinced that those better conditions, being a lower interest rate, is going to come, then get the house now if you can afford it. I'm not telling you to extend yourself, because you do not want to make yourself house poor, because who knows what could happen. Obviously we could have the rates increase on us, and we may not see the rates get low enough to the point where you feel comfortable in refinancing, and then you can't afford the current rate that you're at right now, which you should never, ever, ever, ever do. But if you can, get in it now. Enjoy it. Get the appreciation going now. Get the repairs that you potentially could get from the seller now. And then if the interest rates do come down, refinance it. Yeah, you're going to say, well, I have to pay to refinance it. Well, you're going to pay more for the house. I don't understand this. You're going to pay more for the house and you're going to get less for it if you wait. So I know I focus a lot on buyers with these videos, and that's just simply because buying and trying to figure out when the best time is and when I can get the best deal and the best concessions is sometimes very difficult, and you need a hand to do that. Sellers in Washington State, it's pretty darn easy and pretty cut and dry. If you are sitting on a 4% interest rate or less, you just wait. You sit there with your popcorn and you wait for the rates to drop, because once those rates drop, and with the inventory that we have, the lack thereof, and the amount of activity, as I've already shown you, that we've seen from buyers at 6.5% interest rate, once it drops, you are standing to make tens of thousands of dollars more than what you would today. Here's my other conversation I will have with you as a seller. Have you thought about renting out your home? And the reason why I say that, not a lot of people want to be landlords, nor do they want to turn over the keys to a property management company. But think about it for a moment. If you are sitting on a mortgage rate of under 4%, what is the likelihood of us ever seeing that again? I haven't seen it in my lifetime, and that's been a short 30-something years, give or take 10 or 15 years. But you get what I'm saying. It's been a very, very long time, and we may not see it again for a very, very long time. So you've got something very, very special in the fact that if you rented that place out, you likely could get more rent to pay for your mortgage and the improvements that you might need to make when you do turn it over to your next tenant. Or even more so, and be able to pocket some money. But in the meantime, that home is still appreciating. You have someone paying your mortgage for you, and you're creating generational wealth. So if you hold on to that place and turn it over 3 or 4 times at a 9% appreciation rate, you stand to make tens, if not hundred thousands of dollars more than you would if you just offloaded it today and then kick yourself down the road. So I definitely want my sellers to think about that possibility. And yes, I'm a realtor telling potential clients not to sell and not to do business with me. Yeah. Anyway, if you are thinking about buying or selling a home out here in state of Washington, more specifically Thurston, Pierce, Kitsap, or Mason counties, or somewhere nearby there, or if you just have some questions about the market, by all means, give me a call, text me, email me. I would absolutely love to answer all your questions, and I'd absolutely love to help you out. Thanks. I am calling all my buyers. Oh, shit. Son of a...